about the whites of someone's eyes. Okay. So what I mean by that is the world is being completely taken over by commoditization, because things can be done through AI, through outsourcing, through anything digital. Like, we've got software coming out of our ears. And many years ago, the trusted advisor used to be the accountant or the banker or their local lawyer. And people would go and have a conversation with them. They would go into their office, they would sit down in front of them, and they would share what was going on. And you could see the whites of their eyes, right? And this is what trusted advisor means to me, because it all started when I was about 2-3 years old. My grandfather used to have a wealth advisor, and we'd go along like our IFA. We'd go along. I lived in Croydon. We would go to West Wickham. We would go and see his trusted advisor. I would go in with him. I'd sit down in the chair right behind him, like here, and grandfather would sit here. I'd get given a sweet, and like a really nice chewy sweet, and grandfather would sit down and he would have a conversation with this guy who helped him manage his money. Not an accountant, but like a wealth advisor. And he would sit there and he would be open. Like, I was like age 2 to 10, I would go. He would be open. He would share with the gentleman in front of him exactly what was going on. He would trust him to advise what to do with his money, how to save it, how to spend it, how to put things in trust, how to make sure he's not spending too much, and all of those things. And the thing that was really clear to me from such a young age was that my grandfather trusted this guy, who really was a stranger but wasn't a stranger, with very intimate personal things around his finances. And we have lost that as accountants and bookkeepers have been put into this position of year-end tax, making sure everything's digital, making sure everything's optimized and sorted, and they aren't working on the high street anymore. They're working in their homes more often than not. And no longer do we go along and have a conversation with our trusted advisor. We don't look at the whites of their eyes. And I think that we need to shift back to this trusted advisor, where people like you and I, Joe, can go along, sit in front of someone. Okay, we can do it on Zoom, even better if we can do it face to face, and go, hey, this is going on in my business, or this is going on in my personal finances. Can I have some help? And the relationship is good enough that you listen. Because the biggest problem is, who do we trust nowadays? Because anything could be said online, because we can now all do marketing. If you're a good marketer, you don't have to be a good deliverer, and you'll still get the clients. And who do we trust? That's the problem. So whites of eyes, I would say, is trusted advisor.